Hey, you guys, how are you? Welcome, come on in. It's Vintage Wednesday. Oh my goodness, sometimes words are hard, right? Holy cow. What have you guys been up to? Have you been watching today? This is always so fun. We always have so many wonderful presenters for Vintage Wednesday, and it's just so much fun to see everybody and the ideas that they have. And today I have kind of a half-baked idea. So we're going to go with it, right? We're going to go with it. Hey Sherry, how are you? And so it's always fun to see all the different ideas that everybody has. Now, vintage is not usually my primary, thing that I do, but I do love dabbling in it, and I really do love some of the different things that they, the different looks and textures and colors and things that, that they had back then. And it's just always so fun to, take some of those and use those for inspiration for some of the things that we might want to do, right? And so today we are supposed to make something inspired by vintage wallpaper, or maybe just a vintage print or something. But I'm gonna take the wallpaper challenge, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I have actually made some printables to use for some wallpaper, and we're going to make something that we could use for like to hold some cards, or some cards and envelopes as kind of a little correspondence holder. How about that? Thanks for getting me in, Heidi. I appreciate it. And so we are just I'm going to put you down here to the desktop, and we are going to get started today. So thanks for stopping in. And let me press one more button here so I can let me make sure I'm not okay. I got it. I never want to hear myself twice, so I don't even want to hear myself once. How about that? So following me is going to be Cheryl from Mama P's Crafty Creations. She's going to be up next right after me. And we've still got more people to come, even, into the afternoon. So everybody's popping in. Estella, Amy, Linda. Thanks, you guys. Hey, Joe, how are you? So I'm going to put you down here now so you can see my fabulous things I've got going. And we'll get started. How about that? How about that for some vintage wallpaper look? I love this. Hey, Nancy, Jeanette, Christy, Diane, Cheryl, everybody. Thanks for popping on in. So look at these, you guys. What do you like most, do you think, about some of the older vintage prints? What would you say is like some of your favorite things about them? Is it the colors? Is it kind of the softer look of some of them? I've even got this one. I mean, even though this is a little bit more of a geometric type design, because we've got kind of these, angles and everything. But even at that, we've made it kind of soft and pretty. Or, some kinds of laces, that might be toile. Do you like toile? Oh my goodness. Or the big floral prints, here we've got, this would be something like a damask print. Damask. It's damask. It's not damask. It is damask. Check it out. But aren't those so pretty? And you know what? I got these, and I'm thinking about putting them in my newsletter on Sunday. If you need to know how to get the newsletter, just go to my website, and it's right there on the front, an easy way to get to it, you guys. So, don't feel like you've been left out. So there is also Susie. She's joining us over. You haven't been coming in because you're all alone on YouTube. Well, you got somebody else there today. You got two of you over there right now anyway. So welcome on in. You love toile. I know, don't you though? And so many colors, and I love the little prints. So this is what I've done today. Now you guys look at this one. This one quit printing. And I just about started it over, and I thought, I think for my plan, I'm not going to do anything because I'll be able to use just that much. So why print it again, right? You always have to think about those things. And I'm going to give you a little hint here, because I have, and you may have heard me talk about this recently. I have always steered clear of printing like with no borders on the page, because a lot of times they stretch out and they kind of mess up because it stretches your image a little bit, and sometimes it leaves it kind of distorts the image for some of the things. That's been my experience anyway. But I found out the other day, so you know, instead of printing it to where you've got this and you got to deal with this border, I didn't cut these off, you guys. I printed them just like this. And in my particular printer, I found a setting that was for borderless, but it also has how much you want to expand the print. And there was one that said minimum. I'm like, oh, I'm going to try it. And I could just envision it being like this, but having a hairline of white. No, it printed clear to the edges. And I'm like, oh, I love that. I was really excited about that. And so here, like if we look at this, here's kind of the difference in this one. This is printed clear to the edges, and this was the original, how it printed right here. And you guys, it is almost exactly the same. I mean, it has taken such a tiny bit off of this edge that unless I told you, you probably wouldn't know. And here you can tell a little bit more. See how there is just a little bit more of this tree and fence over here. But I mean, this is really, really close. And I'm like, oh my goodness. You know, sometimes it pays to play around and get to know your printer, right? Especially if you want to be printing it very, you know, using it very much. Colored. Okay, so those look real. They do, don't they? I love them. I think they turned out really great, you guys. Sherry says she likes the colors and the textures. Linda says she loves toile. Heidi says sometimes it brings back memories. Heidi, in what way? Do you guys have do you have places that you've gone that maybe were decorated in things that were a lot more vintage? Were there places that, you know, maybe growing up you went to places that they had decorating and wallpapers and stuff like that were so old that it gives you that feeling of like you've been there before? I don't know. I just, you know, you just never know. But yes, I think sometimes they are really, you know, they're just, I don't know, they're just kind of calm and they just do make you feel good. Oh, Heidi says her childhood home. Oh, Susie doesn't have a printer. You know what? Stay tuned, because you know sometimes people offer things where you can, you know, get them sent to you without you having to have a printer. And sometimes, you know what, having a printer sometimes can drive you kind of bonkers. Kind of bonkers. Diane says she has wallpaper sections from her beach house back in Massachusetts. Soft blue and white, a small shell pattern. Oh my goodness. It was like 1975 when Mom did wallpapering. Oh, I know. Isn't it fun? You guys, I swore off. The first time I had to remove wallpaper, I decided I was not going to do wallpaper ever again. That was a nightmare. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and we're going to get started and make a little folder here to hold some cards and envelopes, okay? So I'm going to make it about, I think I'm going to make it about 7, and I wrote it somewhere because I knew I wouldn't remember. Where I wrote it, that's a different question. Finding where I wrote it. Okay, 7 1/4 inches high is what I'm going to do it. So we're going to cut these this way. So I've got 2 pieces, and we are going to put them together to make a front and a back. So, you know, even if I had used 12 by 12 paper, it would not, whoops, this jumped the track. There we go. Even if I had 12 by 12, oh, that seems awfully short. Oh, you guys. I wish I would not have just done that. Okay, well, I guess it might be smaller than I planned. So much for, you know, thinking and then actually doing. Sometimes when you do it, it's like, oh, I was thinking that would be taller. That's okay. We're gonna make it work. If I had another one printed out like that, we'd go for it. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it again. Now this piece I want to be 6 3/4 inch wide. That is not true. I need it 7.5 inches wide. And then we are, now this is the time when you look at these and you think, I need part of it to be on the front. So if I need part of this on the front, I want to leave this part. So I'm going to flip it this way. So I'm cutting off of this side. So I'm going to do it at 7.5. You know, I'm not either. I'm going to make it a little bit more. I'm going to do 7 3/4. I'm afraid it might be like that first cut, and then I'd be like, oh, what was I thinking? And then I'm going to score it at 3/4 inch. So I'm going to flip this up here and use this thing that's the little scoring thing. For some reason that does not seem like it's doing as deep as normal, but I guess it did. I guess it scored. And then I printed it on the back, like this little lacy pattern on the back. So that's going to be the inside. So we'll use this for the, well, that's a weird, oh, you guys. You know, we're just going to go with it. Then we'll get lots of the wallpaper showing. Oh, I think I like that idea. Now I forgot what I cut it at. This is why I write the stuff down. 7 3/4. So on this side, it doesn't really matter that much. We'll just go ahead and cut it from this side. I'm just going to fly by the seat of our pants. Always make it work out. Oh, Susan, yes I do. Is that a skill or am I just like trying to backtrack and fix all the mistakes? I don't know. Hi Janet, how are you? You know, you just don't know. Okay, so since we have, because we want all of it to be going the right direction, I need to score on this side. So we're going to score at 3/4 inch on this side. You guys, I've been so busy, I hardly know whether I'm coming or going, you know, and all day, for some reason, I keep thinking it just feels like Sunday to me, and I don't have any idea why. Oh, Susie says she's at the Jersey Shore. Oh, thanks, Liz. How are you doing? Okay, so we're going to set this aside for a second, and we're going to get this part together. This is going to be our cover. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, when you're doing a cover like this, if you take this side on the right and put it over this one on the left, then when you do it like this, then you have the nice fold that's on the front part of your cover, okay? So that's what I like to do. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here. Oh, I should have checked this first. Try and get it out there. Okay. What do you think, you guys? Should I put a copy? Oh man, that is really glued. I should have kept a pin in here. I wondered if the little white cover was working very good. Oh man, I do not want to use that. You know what? And this is how you work on your glue as well. I'm going to take this out and try and poke it from the other side, you guys. So I just put it in here and try and find the little spot. If I could see it, it would be better. But it's got glue in it. Okay, there we go. See if I can push it from the other side. I'm afraid I'm going to get it in here and just get the thing stuck. Oh, I think I did it. Now I can do it from this side. Let's put this on here first before we have a big problem. I usually have some wipes over here somewhere. They're buried. Oh, no, there they are. Okay, having some wipes in your craft room can really be handy. You can get the stuff off of your fingers. It can get stuff off of your tools. Let's try again. Okay. Phew! We did it, you guys. We got it cleared out. And now, it's because it just doesn't take that much. So I'm going to run it down here. All in here. Make sure I got it at the top and along this edge where it's going to connect. Okay. You know, I'll put the pin back in because I don't think that little doodad is sealing it very good. And now we just line this up here. And I'm going to put this right at the edge. I'm going to still be able to see my score line here so it doesn't get in the way. And then I'll make sure it's pretty even. And then grid lines are kind of nice because then you can kind of make sure that you've got it all lined up nice. That looks good. Okay, so now we've got, all right, and then we'll just give it another good crease. And now we've got this our little booklet here, and there's our inside. And so, you know, before that your glue dries very much, you know, make sure that all your scores are working really good. Okay, so now I'm going to make some layered pockets here so that we could tuck some things in. So I thought that would be pretty. And then we'll just decide how we want to layer these. We're not going to be able to see a lot of it though, are we? Where's the other piece? So let's decide how we want to have them. Maybe I'll do it like this. I want to make sure we can see it. So maybe like this. We'll just get a little snippet of our little pockets there. And then we're just gonna, I don't know. This is a little much, but you know, I think it's kind of fun. I just think it's kind of a fun look. The bottom one isn't going to be very big. They don't have to be. I don't know, maybe about this big. What do you think? I'd kind of hope they would show more than that. I don't know, what would it look like if we did this one against the blue? Actually, there's enough cream in this one. It makes it kind of a nice separation. And then these two together. You guys, I almost really want to see this one on the front because it's just so pretty. I think I'm going to do that. I think I like that. What do you think? Thumbs up if it's a good one. Is that a good one, you guys? Oh, you guys, it's so hot where everybody else, where so many of us are, right? Oh my goodness. Just so hot. I'm so done with summer. And you guys, a lot of people, you know, they're considering this kind of fall. And we're still just in the heat of it all. Okay. Oh, I got some thumbs ups. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to just mark a little here. And how nice that it's a light colored paper. And then I can just still see my mark. Actually, I better make it bigger or I'll lose it. Okay. And you know, if I wanted a bigger section, I could drop down farther, but I think this will be fine. So let's go ahead and cut those little sections, and we will move forward. Okay, so this will be our tallest piece. And you know, it really wouldn't, I really probably normally would not make a pocket that tall, but I want to see the print, right? We want to see some of that print. So, okay, so this is the, I'm going to mark on here, this is the one I'm using. But see what I mean? It really didn't even matter whether that one printed the whole page, and I'm glad I didn't spend time going back and redoing that, because I didn't need it anyway. I didn't need it that tall. And this is just a teeny tiny little strip of it down here. Okay. So now we just gotta cut them to fit this a direction. Okay, now here's another thing. I want to look at this one. Actually, well, the other one has it cut in about the same place. I guess I would really kind of rather have this centered the way this is, instead of it being like this. I don't know. Would you center it? Would you care? Or would you want it centered? Well, I guess the other piece really isn't centered. Do we care? This one doesn't matter. This one doesn't really matter. And I don't know. Oh, I'm really debating that. And you know what? I'm not so much. I usually don't really care that much. Now, if this one was up there farther, I think I really would want that one to be centered here. You know, I think I'm just going to have to do it, you guys. I think I'm going to have to center it. Sort of center it. How about that? If it's sort of centered, I think I can live with it. So I'm just going to mark these here. And that's the way I'm going to cut that one off. What do you guys think? You have to have things centered? Oh, thanks, Callie. Isn't it pretty? I love the colors. Love the colors. Whoops. Oh, this is, you know what? Let's flip it this way. I can still see my little mark and the little groove, so I know I can still tell where to cut. That's one thing I do like about this this trimmer, is that line makes it so easy. I've had a lot of trimmers that they're not that easy to tell where the center really is. How about you guys? Okay, that's good, because it's still, I cut it, it's still within, it's not interfering with the score line, so that is super good. And, oh, where is our little, oh, I thought you got, how many got, you know, I should start, we should have a contest. It's like, how many times is Christy gonna say, where's that 1-inch punch? That looks pretty much in the center. Let's see really if it is, how close I was. Oh, you guys, that is so close. I am, oh. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. That is really close. Okay, so now I feel good about making my little hole right there on that place right there. I think that is fabulous. Now, let's see. I thought about using a different color. You know what? Let's try this. Let's use a scrap of what we've cut off or something else. Let's try a different color than the standard issue vintage photo. You guys, why did I not clean that off first? Don't ask me. I would not know. Let's kind of clean that off a little. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Here was a little scrap of that. I don't know, it's kind of softer, but it looks a little bit more orangey. I'm not real fond of that. I'm saying no to that one. Now I've got this, you know, there's a lot of blue in some of this. Let's we'll just try out some stuff, right? Make sure that's not. Let's try this one. It's kind of a gray blue, and maybe that would be pretty for a change. Ooh, what's pretty on that? And this has a tiny bit of a blue color. Let's do it. Let's do it. So if we're gonna do that, let's ink a little bit of some of the rest of it. How about that? Oh gosh, I'm so glad I thought about using a different color, right? You know what? Let's round the corner a tiny bit. My corner rounder is not here, but I don't like that. Hang on a second. Have to reach high. Reach high. Oh, I'm gonna have to do the big one to fix that. There. That'll look nice. That'll kind of soften it up. And we were just talking about how we like that soft look. Let's do it. Okay, so craft-a-lanch going on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'll do it along the spine too. Just give it a little, it just kind of pulls everything together, and I don't know, it makes it look like it was supposed to happen, right? Now, I did think about adding some lace though. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where some lace can go. Maybe just a little bit. You know, you guys, this is just one of those projects that, you know, it's not really that involved. It's just kind of easy, but it can be useful. You know, who wouldn't want something? And it could be fun to just make for someone and give them a few cards and envelopes. You know, you don't spend that much time on it. And yet it could be giftable. How many of you like easy giftable things? I know, Susie, doesn't it look great? I like it too. I did good. Hi Martha, how are you? Hi Mandy. I like it. Let's put a little in here. Now some of this might get kind of covered up, and that's okay if it does, because then if it doesn't, then it has a little bit of, you know, color too. So, and you can see, you know, I'm just kind of giving it a little bit. And this was just it's not a heavy cardstock. It was something that I could, you know, get through the printer. I've got some paper that I found that I really like that goes best through my printer, and it's actually called index weight. I mean, it says something about card, but it is I'm not getting much on there. There we go. And I really like it. And it's not quite as expensive as the one that I'd been using before. And I tried using, in fact, I think this particular one is something that I used to use. And I tell you what, I had a lot harder time getting it through my printer. And I thought, no wonder I like that other one. Oh, look at that, you guys, with that, just that little bit. I love that. Okay, so now back to the other pieces. Where's the one that I cut? Okay, oh. Okay, so I use the 1/2 inch side here. That's not cutting very nice. Don't you love when you use a tool and you still got to get out your scissors? But it works, right? Oh, you know what? We're not going to see much of that. Just a tiny bit. I am going to go ahead and leave it squared off up there at the top. Okay, we can go ahead and glue this one down and get started there. So we're just going to put this here and glue it down. You know, I really didn't need to corner around that one. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that around the spine. I'm just gonna leave that one. What do you guys do? Do you like do corner round on the spine side sometimes? I'm just gonna put a little bit. It doesn't need a lot, because the more, you know, the more that we put along here, the more it is going to take up space in the pocket. And since it didn't end up being as high as I was thinking, I don't want to take much more height from the folder. Okay. And I might just give it a little, you know, sometimes I've told you if you'll give it just a little push towards the center, it will give you a little bit more room. I also grabbed, let's see, where did I put those? Here they are. I had grabbed some cards and stuff too to stick in here. This first one's gonna be too big, but it'll give me a little bit of bulk right there. Make sure I can get some in. Oh, that works good. Okay, I like it. I like it, I like it. Did you design the printables? Yes, I did, Gina. Thank you. Okay, so the next one we were going to do was the little... Oh, you guys, what did I do with it? Oh, no. Oh, here it is. So, but we need to trim it. It needs a little haircut. In this one, I'm not going to worry about any part of it being really centered. I think it'll be good. There we go. We'll put that one there. Okay. And, oh, now this is a problem. Okay. You know, let me do this. Let me take this and I'll mark the center of my punched part. You guys, I have at times, I have been known to not pay any attention, and then my things don't line up. My circly things. Like they might be just enough off that I notice it and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. So now we did go ahead. Oh, you know what? Oh, here we can remedy this bottom layer of having that, because the next two we can just leave these and we'll just round this one outside edge. Oh, we'll fix that. Now this little color on the little lines is more of a teal. But you guys, it is hard to print teal on home printers. Because what they look like in the monitor and what they look like when they print out, teal is a terribly hard color to print. So, you know, it's kind of hit or miss. And usually if you can get it to print out and it actually looks like teal, it looks really green on your screen. Okay, so let's glue this one down. How are we doing on time? Doing pretty good. Who else has popped in? So just a little bit of glue. You guys, I love these little needle nose applicator bottles because you just don't have to use much. And when you don't use a lot of glue, you know, even if it's a water-based glue, you don't have so much chance of your paper buckling up, right? So we'll just push it in there like that a little bit, just a little. You don't have to do much. And then last but not least, this little piece. And for sure I want to make sure I've got that biggest rose right there. We'll just mark this right here. I love going in. I've had the opportunity to you know, tour some older homes like that were, you know, still decorated in that like Victorian you know, style, and it's just so much fun to see them. And the thing that is so interesting is one of the things, oh man, is that some of the things, the scale of so many things is so different than what it is now. And I'm not talking about, like, you know, the size of homes necessarily. I'm talking about more like things like some of the doorways, where they put like the light switches, you know, when they changed over and they had electricity, and where they put the light switches, and even like the height of where the doorknobs were and stuff. And it seems like the people were just smaller, you know? And it just is so interesting, you know, to see that. Oh, that's the wrong tool. That's not gonna work. But it's fun. And then there's the opposite of that. Sometimes you go in some of those older homes that were, and I mean, they were mansions. They were mansions even at the time. But they will have the most enormous doorways. And I think the last one that I was in like that was this home down in Galveston. And oh my gosh, the doorways were just, they were so tall. I remember looking over, and Mr. Adventure was standing there in the doorway of one. And I mean, oh my gosh, it was just absolutely so tall. And you just think, why in the world did anybody need doorways? Of course, you know, that was the deal. If you had the money and were able to make it grand, you know, I think that was truly the point of it, right? You needed it to be a grand looking home, and everything was grand. There was this mansion that they'd built up in the mountains in Colorado. I think it was called Redstone. And whatever, I don't even remember why the guy had moved up there, but everything that can you imagine bringing stuff to build one of those mansions of that time into the mountains? And the guy had basically had to build a whole little town for workers that lived there. And I can remember his wife, there was this place, like in the front area, there was this giant staircase and, you know, and a door up there that just seems like a strange place to have like some kind of a bedroom door or something coming down into the main area. Well, they said the reason that they had it like that was because she would wait until guests had arrived, and then she would make this grand appearance coming out from that door, and then she would walk down the stairs to make her grand appearance. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Can you imagine? I just like sneak in the back, okay? Let me just sneak in the back and join the party, and I'll have fun. Oh, Susie, thanks for joining us for a little while. Thank you. Hey, Ann, how are you doing? Oh, that Ann, she makes such beautiful things. We have so many people in our group that do the most magnificent, beautiful work, you guys. They truly do. Okay, look, now we've got kind of some wallpaper samples. I'm liking the way it's looking. Now, let's put something over on this side. You know, shall we go ahead and use the same, since this is the front here, should we go ahead and use this one to make our side pocket? I think so. I think that kind of makes sense. It kind of carries over, and here's the front up here. Opulence, yes. Amanda, that is true. Hey there, Danette, how are you doing? Okay, I think now I don't like to do the pockets. I'm going to do one of these so it's like a side tuck pocket. And I like to do them that way. And this will get it this nice, pretty cluster of flowers right there. I think that's a good spot to do it. We'll bump it over. Let's bump it about this far. And then we'll just use our little pencil. Oh my goodness. My granddaughter started back to she's in her second year of college, and she started back yesterday. And she comes out, she bought, you know, she had a whole bunch of new school supplies, and she brings me this handful of 2 colors of purple mechanical pencils. And she goes, do you want these? I said, sure. I said, I'm always looking for a pencil. And they just seemed to escape. So I said, yeah, that'd be great, thanks. And then I said, why do you have so many of these? And then I asked her, were there any teal colored ones? She goes, I thought you liked purple. I go, I do like purple. I like teal too. Are there any teal ones? And she goes, I can't say. I'm like, you little stinker. And then I'm not going to put it all the way up. We'll just put it about right there. Maybe even a little bit lower. And then a little mark. I don't know why I keep putting my cutting thing back over at the side. How many times have I reached over there to grab it? Okay, now this is what I like to do. I like to cut it at an angle here. We'll leave part of this here and then put it down here, not all the way down. We're not going to make it just a triangle. We're going to give it a little bit more of a substantial pocket feel. So we'll do this, and then now we got to remember this edge is rounded, so let's round. Wait, did I do it? This edge is rounded. Okay, and then we'll just leave it like that. But I like to round these just a tiny bit, and it always surprises me how even just cutting off the tiniest bit just makes it feel kind of rounded and gives it a softer feel. You don't even have to feel like you have to do a whole bunch. Just a tiny snip. Look how much better that looks. I mean, it's not necessarily better, but it's just a little bit of a softer look. And I think we need that for this, don't you? Oh, I really like that. And I think that was a good choice. I really had wondered what I would use for that. Isn't it funny when you're creating and you're just kind of going with the flow, and you're like, you know what? You're not sure. You've got your main pieces, and you don't know exactly how you're going to put them together. I don't know. That's the way I am. Maybe you plan. Do you plan? Let me know in the comments. Do you plan, or you just kind of go with it as you just build as you go? I'm curious. I'll just put this on here. Oh, you know what? I think this side pocket is a perfect place for if we've got a little bit of lace, real lace. Let's see. And maybe I should do that before we glue it down. What did I do with those laces? I have a whole card that I brought out with the lace. Here it is. You guys, I took a whole bunch of my laces. This is a comic book backer board. And I love it because you can wind these things on there, and they're neat, and I have them all standing up together in something, and so you can, you know, look across here. Oh, we're getting some answers. Let's see what we've got. Heidi says she builds as she goes. Amanda says she plans. But so many times wonderful changes happen during the process, right? Isn't that the truth? Christy says she never plans. I could have guessed that about you, Christy. Maybe that's a thing about Christy's, do you think? And Sue says she does a little bit of both. You know, I guess I kind of do a little bit of both, right? I had to plan to, you know, figure out what papers I was going to use, right? So I guess a little bit of both. I'm thinking maybe this piece right here is just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then you know, the nice thing about some of these is you can get them to bend, kind of bend along the curve. Let's do that. Okay, so yeah, I think it's better if we do that before we get it down. And I probably want to make sure it gets on there a little quicker, so let's do this. Cheryl says, I plan, prepare. Change your mind and don't do any of it. Oh, now that happens too. Maybe that's why I don't like doing it, is because I know it'll just change anyway. But that's so true. As you start the process, there's never any telling what will happen. Let me see which side I want to use for the front. This will be the side. The rough side is what we're using for this. A lot of times when you're looking at it and you can look at the texture, you know which is, you know, meant to be the front. Oh, you guys, this is going to be, maybe I don't want to use Fabri-Tac. Let me see, because I need it to go, I want it to go along here, just along here. I don't know. Let me try the white glue first. It might be, let's try it first, because it will be easier to, it'll dry quick. The only problem I have with this and the fabric, is because it takes, fabric or, you know, trim or something, is it does take just a minute more to grab the fabric. Oh, I think that is gonna be fine. And we'll squish it up here a little bit as it goes around that curve. And now it's stuck on my fingers. Did I get it on the thing? Boy, barely. I barely have it on there. Oh, this is going to be fine. This will work. And even, well, I didn't plan this, but even a little bit of the blue from the ink is showing through there. And I don't want to pull that tight as it comes around that corner. Oh, this is cute. I wonder if, I don't know if we need any around the outside of our book, our folder, whatever we're calling it. It's probably a correspondence folder, don't you think? I'm cracking you up. Oh my goodness. What did I do? A bit more here. Okay, so now as we go around the little turns, we want to kind of bunch it up a little bit so it has just that little bit of give as it turns the corner. That's the nice thing about some of these trims. It's really easy to get them to go around a corner just because you can do that. I've had several of these kind of crochet looking trims that are out of this. It's like a cotton trim. And I've been really pleased with how I was able to kind of manipulate them around the you know, corners and things like that. Not that I like to be manipulative. I do not. Only with my papers, because I'm the boss of them. I am the boss of all of this stuff. Hopefully. Sometimes it gets the best of me. Okay, there we go. Now, okay, I'm going to cut these and trim them, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue there to keep them from fraying. Did you see this? I grabbed the fabric scissors right away. I knew where they were. Is anybody giving me points for that? If there's something going on and I can get some points towards that, I want them. Okay. Because you guys know me, half the time I don't know where the fabric scissors are, right? I did find a good place to put them though. And you know what? I've been working on some things and I had them out on the kitchen counter. I had 2 pairs of scissors out there and one of them is still in there. But oh my gosh, I got ready to go to bed and I went running back in there and I grabbed my fabric scissors and put it away because I thought, I do not want, I don't want somebody to grab those for anything. And so I came and put them away. I put them in here where I could find them. Oh, hi, Pam. Nice to see you. It's a good way to pass some time waiting, isn't it? Thanks for popping in. I think I'll just, I don't know, that might be it. Now this is going to be at the bottom of that page, so I probably need to make sure it's more straight. Oh, and this makes me happy that we didn't run all the way to the edge because that gave us more room. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we'll glue this into our little folder now. And then we'll have all the, pretty much the inside I think will be finished, right? And if we had to stop right there, we would have a usable little folder. I don't know that's a folio. I always think of folios as things that have flip flaps and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So let's just put this down here. And even this, I'm going to give just a little bit more room by pushing it over just a tiny bit. Not too much. I don't want it to buckle. And then if you can, if you got something there that you can stick in there before it's too dry, then that's an, oh, did I put glue there? I hope not, because that was not the intent. I don't know, why was I pushing it there like I was gluing it? Okay, so now we can slide something in here. We've got some envelopes. Now, a regular card size that we usually do, whatever they call that size, it'll fit in here. The A5, or the A5, the 5 5x7s are going to be too big for this time. But you could put, like some little, I got glue on me. You could put some little, stamps down in here or whatever. But look, even this one will still peek out here. So that's perfect. I like it. And then we have to decide, do we want something on the front? Now this little guy here is, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to glue that down so it doesn't peek out the front. We'll just put that down right there. Get that there. Thanks for being here, you guys. And like I said, Mama P is going to be up after me. We'll see what she's got going on. Now this is a little bit plain on the front. Not really sure what we could, and we don't have a whole lot of time. I'm not really sure what to put on the front. I mean, we could go ahead and edge it with some other ribbon or something. Some lace. I don't know. That'd be a lot of lace to go clear around. And you guys, when we made, the other day when we were making those clusters, and people were saying, well, what would you do with them? This is the time when you can use something on the front that has more dimension on it, right? Thank you for having me, Heidi. Yes, Heidi's been our hostess today. I'm not even sure if I mentioned that. I'm so sorry. But Heidi has been our hostess today. She is running our show. But you can, you could take something like this as part of your design. And, if you found the right thing. And that's why it's so fun to make a variety of these. Because you never know when you might find something that would be just perfect. Actually, I kind of like this. That would be kind of fun. And I mean, maybe you find something that you like and maybe you don't. But the front of a cover would be the perfect time to, put something on there like that. And, maybe something like running a bigger piece across the front. You could put a piece like this across the front and then maybe add something like this on top of it. And you could, you would rip across here. Maybe you could dovetail it so it's more like a little ribbon or something and put that across. There's, I mean, that's one of the ideas that you can use these kinds of clusters for, right? And then, this was the one that was so bright. And I tried to, put something else on it. And it did kind of dull it down, but it's not my favorite. I almost feel like I want to put something else on it or give it a little bit of even a different color because I'm not thrilled with that. But this is, like I said, this is the time when you can use some of these. Now, for some reason, I'm kind of drawn to this one because it's got these teal colors in it, but it's kind of a mess. I don't know. And I just kind of like the toile as it is. Toile it is, you guys. Toile it is. I don't know. I hate to put much of anything on there because I just like that. But it looks naked. It needs something. I don't know what. I'll have to give that some thought. I don't know. What would you do? I want to hear what you might do to add something to it. What do you think? For one thing, I need to pin my laces back up here. What do you think you would put? You often, Capri says she's oftentimes not thrilled with something and then find its perfect place later. That's true. And that's why I think doing those clusters like that is so fun because you just have like this whole bunch of them to play with and find a good place for. Add blue lace around it. Oh, that'd be pretty. Nancy says blue lace. Oh yeah, a little something in the corner and then leave the cover still. I like that idea. Yeah, either something around the outer edge so And yeah, and still, I don't even think I have enough of this lace. There's not enough of that trim to go around it. That was the same, and it doesn't have to be the. It doesn't have to match that we put on the inside, right? Ecru lace up and down and add a cluster. Oh yeah, that'd be great. Like this, up and down. But yeah, I'm thinking something. I don't know yet. We have to find the perfect thing. Maybe when I find something I really like, I'll just have to go, oh, I gotta show everybody. I don't even know if I have any blue lace, you guys. I would have to color it. And you know what? I hope you guys realize that sometimes if you've got something like that, you can use like the distress ink. I don't know that I've ever used the distress oxide to color something like that. But some of the other kinds of ink pads or inks, you can just pull stuff across them and give them some color like that. And that would, that's really fun. Whatever you do will be, oh, Sue, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys, it's almost time now. If you're watching over in the Crafty Bunch, all you have to do is just refresh your browser, and then Cheryl should come up next, and that's the easiest way to watch everybody in the replays is over on the Crafty Bunch. But thank you so much for being here today, and we hope that you are enjoying Vintage Wednesday, and we've got more inspiration from wallpaper and vintage prints and things like that coming up for you. And so I will see you later. Thanks, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.